With only 3 races remaining in the one-up Nitro National Series season for 2023, it's crunch time for all 12 of our playoff drivers. This is what could be one of their last chances to make an impression on the points leader. With so precious few races left, it's going to be very close between the championship contenders and the pretenders out back as we get ready for 17 laps around this 3.7-mile Denver Motorsports Park road course. We've seen plenty of great racing here in the past, and I'm sure we're going to see a lot more of it here today. And alongside me, as usual, to bring you all the action in the Nitro National Series is Duke Anzac once again. And this is our final road course race of the season, and for some, this could be their last chance to stake their claim for a championship as well.
Yeah, you're absolutely right about that. The field, the point standings after Talladega have been spread out. Of course, we watched Zachary DeLello go out there and he was leading the points going into Talladega. Needed to have a solid day to keep that lead. Ended up winning the race. So all it has done is extended that lead, made it an even more of a challenge for anybody else to try to gain and catch up. So hey, Cody Goforth still in it. Ryan Griffin still in it. Alex Regeparub even still in this thing, still with a chance to really make some gains today and really make a run at the championship. For everybody else, though, they're gonna need some help. I mean, we're looking at Glenn Mixon and Henry Thomas. They're between 57 and 62 points back. Those two are gonna need some help, and then everybody behind that could be mathematically eliminated at the end of this race if they don't finish up front or win the race. I mean, it's gonna be really tough for a lot of these drivers, just because Zachary DeLello has been so gosh darn good over the playoffs. He's been absolutely stellar. So, hey, he leads the categories in top fives, top tens, and also he has 3 wins as opposed to the leading Ryan Griffin 4 wins. So I'll tell you what, he has been putting on a stellar season. He's at a stellar playoffs, and I'm very excited to see what he can do here at Denver Motorsports Park, which is a fantastic venue for a playoff race here. I'm looking forward to see what he can do, what everybody else can do. It's going to be a fun one.
And now we can bring you the starting lineup for today's 17-lap race. And you said it, a lot of playoff drivers needing to make something happen. Good news is, for Alex Regeparub and Logan Williams, they did just that, locking out the front row for Team Duke with some pretty fast lap times, it must be said. But I'm sure what they didn't want to see is the car qualifying in 3rd position, that being the points leader, Zachary DeLello. He's got Henry Thomas alongside him, and as playoff drivers lock out the first 2 rows. But considering the starts we often have here at Denver, especially on the road course, these guys will go 3 and 4 wide into the first 2 corners, then slam on the brakes hard for turn 3. That could be the source of some major drama.
Yeah, it absolutely can, especially with our double file start that we have in this series. I'll tell you what, it's going to be exciting. It's going to be chaotic. It's going to be wheel to wheel, nail biter in the very beginning of this thing. I mean, everybody's going to be up on the wheel, try to win the race in the first corner, because you can really get a big advantage by getting out front after that point. So, hey, I'll tell you what, it's going to be a lot of fun. Make sure you stay tuned, and I am certainly looking forward to it.
So with that being said, we have 42 cars ready to take the green flag here at Denver Motorsports Park for 17 laps around the 18 turns of this technical high-speed circuit, and we are ready to bring you the green flag. It's the one-up Nitro National Series playoffs, and for some, time could be running out. With the field making their way out of the final chicane, heading onto the long front straightaway here at Denver Motorsports Park. It's 2 Team Duke Chevrolets on the front row. The green flag is in the air, and we're underway for 17 laps at Denver Motorsports Park. And it looks like the inside line has a bit of an advantage. Martinez ducks down to the inside. DeLello ducks down to the inside. He's going to go for the lead before we've even hit the first corner.
Man, and this is Speedway turn 1 and 2, so he's got a great line right now, and he's going to go right on by Alex Regeparub. In this first part of this road course, it looks a lot like a mile and a half, but now they take that hard left turn into the infield section, and this is where it becomes a road course. And Alex Regeparub, who started on the pole, is going to fall all the way back to 3rd place and maybe more. And Zachary DeLello is starting this race right where he left off last week, from the lead.
Yeah, and this is the track he feels owes him after what happened here a year ago, so this could be a a bit of a redemption race for Zachary DeLello if he can better his 6th place finish from a year ago here as they dive down the hill towards turns 7, 8, and 9. The field making their way down the chicane, and DeLello putting on a solid run. He's already got a comfortable lead over 5th place starter Rasha Mahendra, so the inside line had a great launch. It's just that the 03 and the 6 were able to jump the 3 at the opening corners.
Yeah, I mean, that was a really bad move from Alex Rajep. He could have stayed down low, but he moved up the track a little bit. I guess maybe we'll find out why he did that, but I can't explain it right now. Anyway, he ends up in 3rd place, and here comes Logan Williams looking for the inside lane against the 25 car, but that's a tighter angle out of that corner, so he's going to lose a little bit of time on the exit. So now everybody back on the speedway section, and they're single file pretty much all the way back. So that's how it goes, but Zachary DeLello still leading the way.
Heading down into turn 16, the start of this front stretch chicane. And now coming out of it, turn 18 onto the front straightaway once again. We complete the first lap here at Denver, and Zachary DeLello has about a half-second lead over Rasha Mahendra. Alex Rajep not too far behind in 3rd.
Yeah, that last section right there is a bit of a toughie because you're going really fast, and then it's a hard left, right, left back into the infield on the front straightaway, kind of where the track does that tri-oval curve. You go kind of into the grass right there, and as you're racing, but then this is one of the toughest corners. I mean, it's a hard on the brake section, and then you're coming through. There's a little short chute here, and another even more tight left-hand corner. And we saw last year a lot of cars, you kind of see again this year, everybody comes a little bit different out of that corner, a little bit tight, a little bit wide, and I think you typically want to go wide out of that corner, carry more momentum, but I guess you just have to see throughout the race. But right now, Zachary DeLello going a little wide through turn 6, and it's going to allow the 6 of Rasha Mahendra to catch right up to him.
Heading down the hill, there's nose to tail going through the kink, heading towards turn 10, and Mahendra, he's pretty good on these types of tracks, and this is his last chance at a Nitro National Road Course win. Of course, he's going to run for Rookie of the Year in the Superstar Series next year for the same team, but he wants to win, and he came so close to winning last year at Las Vegas. Man, that was a heartbreak. But could this be a redemption for him, maybe, in the 6 car?
Yeah, but it certainly could. And right now, he's looking like he's putting together a really good race. I mean, he's up to 2nd place already from his 5th place starting position. Of course, it all happened in the very beginning of the first lap. But, yeah, really fast right now. And he's putting up a challenge for Zachary DeLello.
And as they brake hard for this left-right-left chicane, it turns 16, 17. On the gas now for the flat-out turn 18 as they come through to complete the 2nd lap of this race. The laps are long here, but the action sure is plentiful, and DeLello only extends his lead out front over the 6 and the 3.
Yeah, this is a really great start to the race for Zachary DeLello. I mean, as you can see, we're looking at a shot of him leading the race on lap 3, and there's already a shot of him without any other cars in it. So if you're tight enough with the camera, hey, he's just absolutely on fire so far. I wasn't expecting him to take the lead on lap 1. That was an extremely aggressive move, and it really paid off because there was no issue at all. Nobody was impacted other than himself and Alex Rajep, who lost the lead. But yeah, I mean, no contact was made. It was a very aggressive move. It netted him the lead of the race, and he's starting to pull away. So that's a great job. Very well done from the 03 car to start the day.
Yeah, and he's already picked up a bonus point for leading a lap. He could get the point for leading the most laps if he can hang on till lap 9 or 10. And those points are valuable to him. He needs as many points as he can to pad his gap over 2nd place in the points could he go for, who started 8th, has now slipped all the way down to the 11th position. So not how the 01 wanted to start his day, and he's already been passed by his main competitor for 2nd in the championship, that being the 92 of Ryan Griffin.
Yeah, and, this is a perfect scenario for Zachary DeLello that we have set up here so far in this race. Of course, anything could happen, but, he's coming off that big win at Talladega. He's got a 29-point lead in the championship. He's leading here again. His main competitors in the championship are struggling today so far in this race. And this is just the perfect scenario for him to extend that lead, make it even bigger, going into the next couple of races to finish out the season. I mean, Man, he is looking really good so far. And he could eliminate a bunch of cars from contention mathematically today. So we'll see how that goes for the rest of the race.
Yeah, as Nicky Martinez takes a look underneath Alex Rejepuru for the third position, you're right. This is great running for DeLello. And it really goes to show how much the bar has been raised, that 10th and 11th place is considered to be a struggle now. You need to be running in those top three positions to have a shot at good points. And so far, Zachary DeLello is getting the most points out of anyone. He's your race leader.
Yeah, well, the really tough part is that he is, I mean, even second place in this race right now would not be enough to make any gains on Zachary DeLello, because Zachary DeLello is in first place. So it's, I mean, you really are putting the competition in an extremely difficult space. Speaking of the competition, here they are. It's Ryan Griffin running right in front of Cody Goforth. But these two drivers, I mean, they have to pass 10 cars each. And one of those cars is Zachary DeLello, just to make up, between 5 and 10 points on him. I mean, it's just really tough when Zachary DeLello and that team, they're all hitting on all cylinders right now, and they have been for the whole playoffs, and that's just making it so difficult for anybody else to really have a good chance at this thing. I mean, he's just dominating.
And one bit of good news for these guys is Logan Williams has running in fifth position. He has actually taken the fastest lap point away from Zachary DeLello, so that's one less point the 03 is gaining right now. Looking a little further back in the field, some solid runs from a few guys that we don't expect to do well on the road courses, James Ellison being one of them. After the weekend from hell he had at Talladega, a nice top 15 run will do him plenty good in the championship as well. But Logan Williams, he did take that fastest lap point away from Zachary DeLello. He's currently running in fifth, but that could be a huge benefit to all these guys. But even for Logan Williams, as it runs right now, fifth place would knock him out of the championship.
Yeah, it's just tough. I mean, he comes into this race, he's 106 points back. That's exactly the number that you need to be. If you're behind that number, farther back than that number after this race, you're mathematically eliminated. So he needs to be gaining points on Zachary DeLello to avoid being mathematically eliminated after this. But yeah, he's had a bit of a struggle here in the playoffs. So hey, nice feather in the cap. Have the fastest lap in this race so far. We'll see if he can hold on to it.
Yeah, and it started out so well for that 88 team. Led 111 laps at Bristol, only to lose the lead to, you guessed it, Zachary DeLello in the closing stages. He left that race second, third in the points. But ever since, it's just been a big struggle. A DNF at Talladega, just not what this 88 team wanted. But this is all learning for 2024, where that team should be contenders once again.
Absolutely, and they've put on a great season. I mean, like you said, at Bristol, that was a fantastic race, even after finishing in second place. That was a great start to the playoffs. And who knew that Zachary DeLello, as soon as the playoffs started, was just going to absolutely turn it on? I mean, it was not something that it was so tight throughout the whole season. We saw this guy, Alex Rejepuru, racing in close battle for the regular season championship, and it just with Ryan Griffin, I mean, it was a tight battle throughout the whole year. And hey, I mean, it's not how it turned out in the playoffs. That's what makes the playoffs so exciting. That's why this is such an entertaining time of the season, because you get these new contenders, you get people that just are hitting it at the right time, and Zachary DeLello is doing that. And it looked like the 88 team was going to be doing the same thing. Turns out they weren't, but that's why you watch all the way to the end.
And for the 88 team, the same case can be made for that 25 directly in front of him, Nicky Martinez. She's currently running fourth, but even then, if they would have finished this way right now, Nicky Martinez will lose a shot at the championship.
Yeah, Nicky Martinez actually needs to gain 9 points on Zachary DeLello in this race to stay within contention mathematically. Boy, that'll be tough. And Nicky Martinez just got off on the wrong foot in this playoffs. I mean, it was a struggle at Bristol, running in last place, and then ended up out of the race. And then there was another race right after that, if I'm right in my remembering, but she was out immediately again, so it was 2 back-to-back DNFs, and that's just a terrible way to open the playoffs.
Yeah, Bristol and Chicagoland did not help her cause at all. She's still mired 12th in the points. But one of 2 Kings Motorsports entries to make the Nitro National playoffs in their final season of competition. Joshua Michaels also made it. He had a DNF at Bristol. And he's been slowly climbing his way back out of the points hole, but as he's mired barely inside the top 15 last I saw. So even he could be knocked out at this rate.
Yeah. Yeah, he absolutely could. Joshua Michaels is one of those drivers that from 7th on back he's 83 points out of the championship lead right now. He's really that is a huge points hole, and he had a bad starting position today, a tough run in qualifying. He was starting all the way back in 17th position, and that's just not close enough to the front. Meanwhile, here we got some action on the track. It's the 88. He might be going for a move on Nicky Martinez.
Side by side in the turn 1. This never ends badly for either party involved. As they dive it off into the first corner, Williams has the preferred inside line ahead of Martinez. Move the 88 up into 4th place. Can he clear off a 2? Looks like he will. Move Logan Williams up to the 4th position.
Power move from the 88 car in turn 1. It wasn't even a typical passing zone on this track. It's just a speedway corner right there, but you get a little bit lower, you put those left sides on the apron, help your car turn, and now look at that, Nicky Martinez still going side by side now with the 97.
Yeah, and how about Mac Johnson? He was supposed to race this car earlier in the playoffs, but an entry error prevented him from competing. Jeff Bolton gave him this race, and he's making the most of it. He's just outside the top 5, as Cody Goforth's trying to fend off Glenn Mixon to the best of his power, and he is able to do it.
Yeah, Mac Johnson started 7th in this race, and he's running in 6th place, so that's a +1 there. Solid day so far. Here's Ryan Griffin though, who's just hanging on in that 10th position. But yeah, this is a fascinating race that's developing here, but not fascinating for the lead. It's Zachary DeLello all day. He's 2 seconds ahead of 2nd place right now, and even for 2nd place, there's a second between 2nd and 3rd. So a lot of seconds in there. I know, but that's just up front right now, getting pretty spread out.
Yeah, and we often see this on the road courses, especially ones with a lot of high-speed corners, where the leader can get a massive advantage. We saw this a lot when Mark Davey ran in the Nitro National Series. He used to pull out huge gaps, and Alex Verget did it too. But now it's Zachary DeLello doing it. It's sort of an unavoidable tool of the trade here on the road courses to build that big a lead, to prevent other people from even having a chance. But as it's running right now, DeLello in a fantastic position to get his 4th win of his career and his 4th of 2023.
Yeah, and it's just the way this track is designed. It's this massive front straightaway, and turns 1 and 2, you get all the way to the top of 4th gear, and then you have to shift all the way down. But it's not the maximum braking zone, because that's turn 4 is the max braking zone right through there. We see a lot of side-by-side action through here. We just saw the 00 make a pass right here, but then you come through this section, and you go through turn 5, and then you're in turn 6. It's a long sweeping corner, so it's tough to make a move here. We're going to see the 12 go for one, but he's just not going to have enough momentum. The 00 is great. And then here's one of my favorite sections of this track. It's straight downhill, 7, 8, 9, a lot like Laguna Seca. But there's just no passing that ever happens right there. It's a tough section. You can go off the track right there and make a big mistake and lose a lot of spots, but it's just limited passing zones, a lot of high-speed sections, and the braking zones just aren't big enough. But, hey, that's what makes this track so unique, and it makes it so difficult for drivers, and it makes it just that much more impressive to see drivers that are so much faster than others that really, they move up through the field. The passing here is tough, but it's possible. You have to time it right, and you have to really be talented to make it happen.
Strong run also for this 41 car. Shantley Daniel, he puts 2 Jeff Bolton Racing cars in the top 10 as we complete the 8th lap here. Mac Johnson and Shantley Daniel running in the top 10 here. Strong run for this 41 at a track type he's not suited for. And of course, this is one of the big free agents in this silly season. He's not been picked up by Jeff Bolton Racing to return next year, so a lot of possibilities as to where he could go, and he's putting on a big audition tape right here.
Yeah, he certainly is. That 41 car looking absolutely stellar today. He might be about to get passed from the 92. We'll see. Not sure, but yeah. And here's Rasha Mahindra, who has lost a little bit of time to Alex Regepa-Rube. So we'll see if Alex is able to make anything happen through this corner. Goes a little bit wide and lost some time there. So hey, never mind. Never mind. The 3 car has fallen quite a ways back after that. So yeah, maybe another lap for the 3. Maybe right now, actually, they're running different lines again.
Yeah, turn 6 is one of those places where you can run different lines here. You can run wide to generate more momentum out of the corner. You can run right up against the curb to minimize the distance. But either way, it's a very difficult corner to master, and it's the site of a lot of action, especially in the opening stages. But as we make our way through another sweeping right-hander, this one turn 10, heading towards 11 and 12 here, and Zachary DeLello, he isn't even in the same camera shot anymore. This is the real battle for position here, because that 03 has set sail.
Yeah, just wonder, I mean, if the 3 car, if the 88 could get by Rasha Mahindra, who is not slow by any means. The 6 car is not slow at all. In fact, the 3 is not even to the back bumper of this car, but you wonder if one of those 2 cars, especially the 88, who has set the fastest lap in this race, if they could get by, could they go and chase down that 03 car? We might not ever find out, but it sure is an interesting thing to think. Which of those cars is the fastest? Which of them would do the best in second place? It's interesting to think about that, and we'll see if it happens in the coming laps.
Yeah, and remember, keep in mind, we only have 8 laps to go in this race. This is a short race here at Denver Motorsports Park, but the laps are so long, a lot of action can take place here regardless. So there's a lot of racing still to be had, even though we only have 7 laps to go. 8 laps to go, as Mac Johnson gets around Martinez, moved the 97 up into the top 5.
Yeah, that's a great move from Mac Johnson. We saw that same move on the 25 car from Logan Williams in the 88. So I'll tell you what, that maybe that 25 car just set up differently, better to be set up to be faster in the slower corners, if you will. This car is better through these corners right here, like the sweeping corners when you're on half throttle, going through 7, 8, and 9, going downhill, changing direction a lot. That 25 car probably pretty good, but when you get to the straightaway in the big high power section, so far turn 1 and 2 has been pretty detrimental for the 25 team. So that their car must just be set up in a different way, and it's not paying off.
And for Logan Williams, we're looking at him now. We often forget he has won this year. He got that win all the way back in New Hampshire earlier in the season, a track that's often described as a road course oval based on how flat it is, and how you sometimes have to shift in those flat corners. So should it really be too much of a surprise to see this 88 car performing so well on the road courses?
No, absolutely not. And we've seen that car perform well on a few previous road courses that we've had this season as well. So yeah, a great young talent in this series, Logan Williams is, and of course that's going to be rare coming from me, his car owner, but really you have to just look at the results to see it. That 88 car, he's been really good this year. He started the playoffs on a really high note, despite being very disappointed after a close loss at Bristol, but it hasn't worked out since then. But throughout this whole season, it's been a great kind of learning year, and yeah, that car is looking really, really good, especially on road courses and flat tracks.
And slamming on the brakes hard for turn 3 is Rasha Mahindra now in second place. This is, even if it's not a win, which it's becoming less and less likely to be a win, this 6 car is having a strong day, and this will boost him up to possibly top 15 in points the way he's going, which would be a fantastic run for Moto Dash Racing, which has had a very rough season across all series.
Yeah, it's a fantastic run so far. Second place is a good run. Pretty much any day at any track, unless you desperately need a win. But yeah, he's only 1 point behind 17th. He's just less than 20 points behind Robert Weaver, or just more than 20 points behind Robert Weaver. So,
And he's struggling in this race. 66 is way back in the pack.
yeah. So this could be a 4-position boost in the standings for Rasha Mahendra, who really needs a great thing like this to close out the season. I mean, the momentum that brings, it's a real thing, the momentum through the off season. You want to end your season at a great spot so that you can start your next season at that same great spot, just looking forward to the next season. And you don't want to end in a big disappointment, because if you end with a big disappointment, you're going to be sad through the whole off season until you get to race again. So you really want to end it on a high note so that you're excited, looking forward to the next year, and coming off a great finish. But right now, he's got a challenge from behind from Alex Verjep-Arub, who's knocking on the door once again.
And remember, next season for Rasha Mahendra, he'll be Superstar Racing, taking over the car that finished second at Talladega last week.
Yeah.
So that's a very good opportunity for the young Indonesian driver. We'll see what he can do with it next year. But the focus now is on the race at hand today. And with 6 laps to go, Zachary DeLello has pulled out to a 3-second lead over Rasha Mahendra and Alex Verjep-Arub, who are continuing to battle for the runners-up spot. But if things keep playing out the way they are, Zachary DeLello could shut out a lot of prime contenders here today.
Yeah, and you say, I mean, 6 laps to go. That sounds so exciting. We've still got probably about 10 minutes left in this race. You know, the way that these laps go, just less than 2 minutes long each lap. So, hey, if it was 6 laps to go at Bristol, we'd have something special about to happen. But right here at 6 laps to go, we still got plenty of time at the race, a lot of corners to go through, and a lot more passing zones as well. So, you know, each lap brings a ton of opportunity for drivers to really make moves, make time. And of course, right now, the one that's capitalizing the most on all the corners is Zachary DeLello, but we can see some other drivers. I mean, the 3 car and the 88 both are showing a lot of speed right now. And in fact, Logan Williams might put up a challenge for this 3rd position before long. So we'll have to keep an eye on this whole battle here.
And keep in mind, for Alex Verjep-Arub, this is his last chance to get a road course victory in one-up Nitro National competition. He said he's stepping down at the end of the season. This is his 3rd to last race, and he's racing in his prime. He's running in 3rd position. A fantastic run, even if it's probably not going to result in a victory. But what an incredible accomplishment, a lot of accomplishments this driver has made over the course of his career. 6 wins in the Nitro National Series, that leads all drivers, and one of which we saw this year. And if that's the last one, man, what a time we've seen him compete.
Yeah, it really has been an honor to watch him, a legend in the making. You know, somebody that's going to be talked about in the record books for the rest of the Nitro National Series as long as it's around. So really, it has been a fantastic journey with Alex Verjep-Arub, and watching that car, that driver, that team grow and really become a force to be reckoned with, especially on the road courses, every single road course. I mean, even today, he qualified on the pole and he moved up the track on the first lap, just a lack of misjudged right there. I mean, maybe the first time we've ever seen a mistake from Alex Verjep-Arub on a road course, and it may have cost him the win today. But for what we've seen out of this race car driver, man, oh man, it has been a total blast, and it's been a lot of fun to watch. And looking forward to the future, what comes of that 3 car. But you know, it's gonna be tough to see him go. It's sad to see him go, but we'll be very glad that we were able to experience what happened.
And he's doing a fantastic job running 3rd in the race. And as they run right now, he would move past Ryan Griffin to 3rd in the points as well. So he's still got a bit to go to catch Cody Goforth, but he's gaining points on him as well. So Alex Verjep-Arub could be in a great position to at least get runner-up in the points. And if Zachary DeLello has an unmitigated disaster in the final 2 races at Texas World and at Homestead, this could be an opportunity for Alex Verjep-Arub to go out on top.
Yeah, and you know, those 2 tracks are not gimmies. I mean, you cannot go to one of those tracks and expect to have a day like Zachary DeLello is having here. They're both tough tracks. There are a lot of passing. It's rough on the cars. It's rough on the drivers. It's going to be an all crew kind of finish to the season. So nobody who is mathematically eligible is out of the championship going into the final 2 races, and that's what makes it so interesting to see, and what makes it so important for Zachary DeLello to go out there and have races like he's having today, because he's just increasing that gap, increasing that safety margin, that net that he has to be able to fall back on in case of disaster.
Yeah, and we hope there isn't any disasters, because we want to see the most deserving drivers get the most deserving finishes. But we're prepared for every outcome, so...
It is the Nitro National Series. We've seen crazy things.
Yes, we've seen a lot of crazy things, and Rasha Mahendra can attest to that. He led at Las Vegas last year, blew an engine coming to the checkered flag, so he knows what it's like to have crazy things happen. But right now he's a solid second. That would be a career best finish for him, and he's only 3.5 laps away from sealing it.
Well, and that's why he's racing so hard against Alex Rajapparubi. He's really playing a great defensive game, but he knows what could happen to that leader in the closing laps of the race. It's not over until you cross that finish line and see that checker flag in the air. I mean, it is anything can happen in these races. And right now, Rasha Mahendra, if something did happen to the 03 car in this race, he's in that prime position to really have a shot at him. But now the 3 car right here, Alex Rajapparubi, he's been knocking on the door, getting closer and closer every single lap, and now he's got his best opportunity.
He is losing time in the speedway section, which doesn't really surprise me. He's strongest in that infield portion of the racetrack. That's where he gains all his time, but that's not where the hard braking zones are, and he really needs to up his game. But he's right on the back of the 6 of Mahendra now, coming to 3 laps to go now, and now Mahendra under serious threat from this 3 car.
Yeah, 16, 17, 18 right there. He was really good. He went tight into that first corner so that he had a wider exit off the corner. He was able to get on the throttle sooner, and now he's looking low. Oh, he had to get off the throttle maybe and slow up a little bit there because he wasn't able to make the pass. He was a little bit loose, but now he's got a really good run, possibly into this corner. He might have a shot at him going side by side, maybe into turn 4.
Nothing doing on the... Oh, and he goes wide through turn 4. Wow. We've seen that happen so many times. Every year we come to this road course, and it bit Alex Rajapparubi there. Now it's brought Logan Williams back into play in the 88. This is an exhilarating battle for second place on the racetrack, all happening 4 seconds behind our race leader.
Yeah, you saw him go into turn 4 right there, and he got on the brakes, and then that front tires just locked up a little, just for that little moment, and he lost the line, and then of course he lost the time as well. So, hey, it's going to be interesting to see, because this 3 car, I believe, is faster than Rasha Mahendra right now. But if he's able to get into a position, it's all about the timing it up so that you're right on the bumper in a passing zone, and he almost had it in the last corner, or in turn 4 on the last lap, but he really wasn't, he didn't execute that corner quite right, so now he's learned, now he knows he's going to try it again this time.
Yep, coming out of the infield section onto Speedway 3 and 4, turns 14 and 15 here on the road course. And you can see the 3 is bleeding time once again. You no longer see him in the picture. So it's just coming out of that infield section. That's where he's at his weakest. And Rasha Mahendra seems to have a car set up for this portion of the racetrack, braking hard into the final chicane. He makes up all that time once again. It's just, we now have 2 laps to go. Time is running out.
Yeah, it's pretty incredible how much time he makes up in the 16, 17, 18 section right there. And Logan Williams follows him right through. Makes you wonder. Those team cars probably running about the same setup here at Denver. But yeah, it's running out of time here in this race, like you said. You're going to have to make your move pretty soon if you want to really get that second place position.
And that is the battle for right now for second place, because Zachary DeLello has put 4.3 seconds between himself and this battle. That is several cars strong. It's really these 3, but any slip up from them, any slip up, any further slip ups from these guys, Matt Johnson, Nicky Martinez, Aiden Clare, they're all right there as well. So there's a lot of racing still to be had, with now a lap and a half to go.
Yeah, and we're getting to the point. I mean, with each passing lap, you know, the tires are getting hotter, the drivers are getting hotter, the pressure is rising. You know, I mean, everything is just getting more and more intense as we close in on the finish of this race. So, all these drivers that are trying to gain positions, you got to try to figure out a way to stay cool under the pressure, keep your tires calm, don't burn them up in turn 4 like Alex Rajapparoub has been doing to the front tires. I mean, you got to really work the car, be patient, be confident, and make the moves when you can. So right here, we see that 3 car really close again to the 6, but now we're in that speedway section where they're going to get all the way up to the top of their 4th gear. And Alex has got a great opportunity. He's closer than he's been the previous time. So we're going to see through 16, 17, 18. You can't really make a pass through this section as we see DeLello go through right now. But you can gain a lot of time. Let's see what Alex Rajapparoub does once they get through there. Here's Zachary DeLello taking the white flag now.
1 lap to go for Zachary DeLello, and this is probably going to be his most dominant win to date. As you see, Alex Rajapparoub all over the back of the 6 of Mahindra. That's the fight for second. But that's all it is a fight for second, because Zachary DeLello has put his gremlins at Denver Motorsports Park to rest. He is cruising out in front of this race. He'll have led every lap of this race if he can hang on for just 3.7 more miles.
Yeah, and here's Alex Rajapparoub into turn 3 now. He's right on the bumper of Rasha Mahindra the last 2 times through turn 4. He slid wide. We'll see if he does it again. They're going to come through here. We're watching Zachary DeLello, and it looks like that 3 car, he went wide again a 3rd time in a row, and he's going to lose a ton of time to the 6 this time. So that battle is coming to a conclusion now. He's going to only have a couple more shots during this lap. Meanwhile, Zachary DeLello, boy, has he put together a great race. I mean, he took the lead on the first lap in the first couple of corners on a great move where he jumped low, forced the 3 car to go to the top lane, and he's just putting not only this race to bed, but he is looking at a really good lead in the championship standings.
Coming through turn 10 for the final time, Alex Rajapparoub is doing everything he can to get by Rasha Mahindra, but I don't think it's going to be enough. Meanwhile, Zachary DeLello braking hard for turn 12, coming through 13 now, back onto the oval for the final time. He's got 1 more chicane to navigate before he can celebrate his 4th win of the season, tying him with Ryan Griffin for the most this season. And I don't think anything's going to stop him at this point, unless he gets the chicane all wrong, which he hasn't done the last 16 laps of this race. Heading now down, this is the moment of truth right here, into the final chicane for the final time. It's all neat and tidy for Zachary DeLello, who comes out of turn 18 to celebrate now his 4th career win, his 4th win of 2023, and a win he should have probably had last year. Zachary DeLello wins at Denver Motorsports Park for his 4th win in 2023. An incredible drive that really he didn't have much competition this time, and he's probably grateful for it, because the last 2 races are really where the intensity is going to pick up.
Yeah, and he has absolutely put on a show for all of us here at Denver Motorsports Park. I mean, he has outdriven everybody today. Nobody could touch him after he took the lead on lap 1, and he just dominated the whole way. So, yeah, hey, Rasha Mahindra, he was able to hold on for 2nd place against Alex Rajapparoub after he went wide in turn 4 on the last lap, and then obviously the 3 finishes after Mahindra, then Logan Williams, and then here's Mac Johnson, who has had a great day in that 97 car. Nicky Martinez lost a couple positions there, and here's the 00 as well. So a great run from a lot of drivers, and here's the 92, who has fallen even farther in the point standings. One of our top contenders all year is starting to lose ground on the leader in the championship.
And how much ground is it? Zachary DeLello could now clinch the championship at Texas World Speedway next time out. He has a 49-point lead over Cody Goforth, who remains 2nd in the championship. Alex Rajapparoub has jumped up to 3rd past Ryan Griffin, but they're real long shots now. As you were correct, 7th on down have been knocked out of championship contention after this race, but we still got 6 guys in it to win it, but Zachary DeLello, he's already got 1 hand on the championship trophy. He has the potential to lock it all down at Texas.
You're right. You know, and I mean, he won Talladega. That's a track that, I mean, you really, it's a mixture of 50-50 of talent and luck. We know he's got the talent, but he had the luck at Talladega too. He was able to go out there, win that race, and take it from everybody else, take all the points that were on the table away, and gain in his championship lead. And now we come to Denver, where it's a track that your luck is really on lower than it is pretty much anywhere else. It's a lot of talent, it's a lot of skill, it's a lot of speed in the car as well, and we've seen him do it again here. He took the lead on lap 1, and he took all the points away from everybody else. Nobody could have him because Zachary DeLello took all of them. So he's done it twice in a row. Can he go to Texas World Speedway and do it again? Who knows? Probably. We've seen, I mean, nobody's been able to stop him for the last 2 weeks now. So he could go to Texas World Speedway, have a great run, lock up the championship. That's what they're going to be looking to do. But there's going to be 5 other drivers out there that are looking to do everything they can to gain points on that 03 car. It's going to be intense. It's going to be exciting. And we're going to know at the end of that race what's going to happen at Homestead. But it's going to be a lot of fun to watch. You got to tune in. I'm so excited to see it.
So from Duke Anzac and from myself as well, we say goodbye from Denver. We'll see you again in Texas World Speedway in 2 weeks for the penultimate race of the 2023 1UP Nitro National Series season. Zachary DeLello's got to be feeling pretty good. He goes to College Station, Texas with a chance to lock down his first series championship.